Hello, I am Lisa J. Stocks. Thank you for tuning into this week's Stock Talk episode. So, today I'm just going to do a continuation of the questions, my little game time that we were doing last week, Sunday. So, what it is I'm going to just share different scenarios and then share my opinion of what I would do. And you guys can chime in the chat and let me know what your thoughts are on the topics. Okay, just checking that everything seems to be working okay. Let's get started. Where's my list? Where we left off from. Whoops. Okay, let's see. Go to the comments tab. Hey, Chocolate Drop. Thank you for chatting. I was just about to say, I'm not sure if the chat was working, but yes, it appears that it is. Okay, well, let's get started. Hey, Rooted. Okay, so just like if you were here last week, I decided to play a little bit of a game, and I'm calling it game time. What I'm doing is I'm going to throw out different scenarios and give my opinion, and you guys can, hopefully you guys have a free hand. You don't have me on the TV, you're not driving or something, so you can chime in and share your thoughts on the different things that I'm going to be talking about. And if you're new here and you enjoy stock market and finance related topics, which is what I share here, make sure to subscribe to the channel. So first question, or first topic that we're going to be talking about is budgeting and savings. So you want to start investing, but you have absolutely no budget for it. What is going to be your first step? So I know it's not easy and I know it takes work, but you have to sit down and track those expenses to have a full handle of what is going on. Is there any money leaks? Are there any subscriptions or something that you can adjust in order to be able to free up even a small amount, $20, $10, wherever you can start from, in order to have something put aside, whether it's in that savings category or investing. Small amounts, I'm not a person that will ever discourage you from investing or saving small amounts. Just be consistent with it. And so you have to take the time to put the work into combing through that budget, even if it's a few out of 12 months, even if you just do it on a real detailed level, maybe even once per quarter, in order to have a handle of how much you're spending on the Uber Eats, the takeout food, the different things that might be able to help you towards that savings goal. So guys, any comments related to the topic of what do you do when you have absolutely nothing towards getting started with savings or investing? Where do you find the money from? Yes, guys, hit the like. Hey, Marlene. Thanks to everybody who's tuning in so far. And thank you to Vincent. Happy Sunday to you also. And I appreciate that super chat. Okay, so chocolate shopping, I find extra money through my rebate apps. Okay, start by rounding up at the grocery store. Okay. Margin to invest. Sell the junk you have lying around that you're not using. I definitely do that. So I definitely have put some things on Facebook Marketplace, taken some clothes to the consignment store in order to see if they wanted to buy any clothes, sneakers, purses that I was not using. I've seen Chocolate Drop do this also. on her channel. Hey, Teresa, thank you for listening in while you were having lunch. Oh, yes, I just threw on my Jamaica sweatshirt today. I'm just being comfy. It's nice and warm, too. I put cashback rewards from my, let me see, I didn't click on it. I put cashback rewards from my Fidelity Visa towards FXAIX. That sounds like a plan. I still have not gotten that Fidelity card. They even sent me, I was thinking about getting it, and then they sent me an offer in the mail even, and I still haven't signed up for it. I know that Key, everybody has told me, everyone in the community has told me that I should have that card. Sacrifice now, your future self will thank you. Yes, that's always key right there. We have to not splurge too much so that we can take care of our older selves. Okay. Yes, I just recorded an episode 2 and I will be editing. Let's see. All right, so let's go on to the next one. Your budget has 0 left for fun. How do you allow yourself something small? I definitely think you should try your best to squeeze something in. Even if times are kind of tough, I would go on Facebook, Meetup, if you can do that safely, Eventbrite, something like that. Look for free events. Look for free things that you can do to connect with people, whether you have your friend network or not. If you're going by yourself or you have people to go with you, look for. It's probably easier. I'm in a cold area on the East Coast, but easier during the summer to find those outdoor free events and festivals and things like that. But do your best to treat yourself. If, go to the movies on a night when they might have a discounted night. Like I think over here they have a special on Tuesdays. Go to a matinee. Do what you can in order to treat yourself every once in a while, but find a way to keep it as reasonable as possible. If it can be 0, even better. If you can just bring, your water bottle and your food from home. Like I said, it's easier in the summertime. But just make sure you're getting out and having some fun. So Anthony is sharing, you can do government tours for free. Yeah, I think there are certain days, maybe if you have a zoo near you or a museum or something like that, you look up those things and find out if there is any free options or low-cost options in order to be able to feel like you did something if your budget is that tight and you're focused on your goals. So next thing, let's talk about spending and temptation. So you see a sale for sneakers or whatever your vice is that you love to buy. What do you do? So I'm going to give this suggestion of what I do when I see things like that. I don't jump on it unless I feel 100% sure that it is needed and it is the best price. So with that, you might not be able to do that immediately. Take a few hours, take 24 hours, and really evaluate to make sure that it is something that is needed that you are purchasing. Our sneakers are going to deteriorate. Things are going to need to be replaced. So it's not that shopping has to be 100% out of the question. There are things that are going to need to be replaced, but the choice that you make can be a drastic difference. You have to make sure you're staying within budget, figuring out how to best suit what your goals are. Like I have a credit card that I had set to 3% cash back for gas. And so that was my go-to card for purchasing my gas. But I looked at another card and there's another gas station that I'm often getting 7% cash back on. And so I had to make a shift, and doing little things like that, it's making me feel like I'm on track to make sure that I'm stretching my money, maximizing it, and then hopefully have more to go towards those little things that are needed, but aren't always in your everyday, every month standard budget, like when you do need a new pair of sneakers or something like that. So, next up, your phone breaks. I haven't had my phone break lately. I did break the monitor piece on my laptop a few months ago, and I did not jump to let me just go and buy a replacement. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you break an electronic device, what do you do? Repair or upgrade? And what I did was I went and got a price at a local place on how much it would be to repair, made that comparison, and I decided to go with the option of repairing my laptop instead of replacing it. And with that also, it was going to save me of having to reinstall and get familiar with something new, but the most important part of my choice there was saving money. So I know it's annoying when you break your phone, especially, but I was really upset when I broke my computer, just as much, I think. Not quite as much as if I had broken my phone, but I was pretty upset. So what do you guys do when you need something? I think in today's day and age, when we were younger, there probably was more repair shops and more of that concept of repair and not automatically buy a new one. But is there anything that you guys can think of that you've actually taken the time, or it worked out well to have it repaired as opposed to replaced? I'm grabbing one of those old phones that still work until I have no other choice. Yes, yes. I'm a person that, whether it's phones, clothing, cars, whatever, I think I have gotten the length of time that I use things is outside of the norm. I've always been like that. I try to, stretch it as much as possible. I'm not quick to replace items. Yeah, there aren't too many repair shops nowadays. There's not, but luckily is now that, especially, I went through that issue with my computer recently. I know a local place for computer and phone repairs and that type of thing. So I will definitely, before, especially if they're going to give me the estimate for free, I will evaluate how much it will cost to repair before I jump to replacing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hit the like if you haven't already. Thank you so much, Girl Dad. Thoughts on XLK technology sector just completed. Let me see. Just completed 2-for-1 stock split. I was not aware of the stock split, and I'm going to save your question because I want to stick with my topics for now, but we're going to come back to that. Splits. Okay. All right. There are several. You have several phones laying around. My last issue with my phone was just a matter of I was running out of space, not even that there was anything wrong with it. So if I had to go back to that one, I could. Okay, so let's continue. Next scenario. You want to learn investing. You're just getting started. Do you start with stocks, individual companies, buying shares, or ETF, exchange traded funds? If you've been here before, you know what my answer is going to be. Start with an ETF, a low cost fund, in order to give yourself that simplicity. In my next video that's going to be coming out maybe tonight, I talk about that. These funds, they rebalance themselves. It's like all you have to do is be the boss, and you will then have a committee out there that's going and looking for those best companies, whether it's the S&P 500 or this fund, XLK, whatever it is, they are going to be looking for those quality companies in order to incorporate into those funds. And when something, they set their standards as to what it takes to be a part of the funds. And when you're not meeting up to that criteria, you're going to be kicked out. So it gives you so many different things that a beginner friendly. So definitely I would encourage you to stick with funds when you're getting started. And most likely, if you are just investing through your 401k at your employer, there might be a fund that you can invest into as opposed to that target date fund, an actual fund that tracks an index or a group of, the top companies as far as, let me see, I'm trying to think of what is the name of FX. Okay, so something like an FSPGX. So it's a Fidelity large cap. So it might not be specifically the S&P 500 or something like that, but a solid group of companies that are going to be on track for growth. Okay, so let me take a look at the chat. Thank you, KGU, for tuning in. KGU fam, Trenton, appreciate that. I'm not going live on the Discord this weekend. Next Sunday, I will be back again. Okay, so you sold half of your realty income and spread them across your MAG 7 stocks. Okay. I sold some of my realty income also, but yes. Okay, so let's see. What number were we on? Now let's go on to a bigger purchase, buying a new car or a used car. What are your thoughts on that? Hello there, Daryl. I don't think I'll ever buy a new car again. I don't see the benefit in it at all. You lose so much as soon as you buy it. So what I did last time around was I went to the dealer looking for cars, leases that were recently turned in that were going to be, at least 3 years old, as well as looking at, what used cars that they had on the lot. And so that had me in the place where I thought I would be comfortable in purchasing something. It was from a dealer, but at the same time, making some strides to find something more affordable instead of, picking something new, and the value is going to drop so much. The higher insurance, higher everything associated with that newer car. So what are your thoughts, guys? Do you think you'll ever go and purchase a new car again? What did you do last time around when you had to replace your car? Okay. No comments on that topic. Now, holiday spending, it's here already. So I guess this will have to go towards next time around if you didn't do it already. When it comes to holiday spending, do you save ahead of time? Do you save month by month all throughout the year? Or do you just, deal with it like now around Thanksgiving or whenever you start to do your holiday spending? This is something that from when I was a little girl, I always saw my mother doing. I don't know, this is the one savings thing that I definitely saw throughout my entire life. Was she had a credit union account, which was for regular savings, but she also had a Christmas Club account. And so when I started working, that was something that I always did. And it would help me because my oldest daughter, her birthday was in November. And so that savings, I would get it at the beginning of November. So right around her birthday is when I knew I was going to be getting my check. They would definitely get it to us before Thanksgiving time. And so that would have me covered for her birthday, Christmas, and really I would try to do my birthday's in January. I'm a Capricorn, guys, if you didn't know. And so that check, that savings amount, that's what I was allocating it for everything, basically from November to January, extra spending on any gifts, cakes, and things like that, as well as, of course, any holiday gifts. So the Christmas Club, are you familiar, Chocolate Drop? So now I don't have, it's not officially the Christmas Club. I just have a sinking fund that I have designated called Christmas. So, but yeah, I think if you guys don't do this already, maybe this could be the year to evaluate. You know, are you ever short when it comes to Christmas? Is your family growing, or anything like that? Or do you need to be allocating more to be prepared ahead of time for any expenses related to the holiday time? So let me see. Okay. And guys, remember, I'm always first, shout out to Blessed Life Journey, one of my longest standing channel members. I appreciate you so much. I think I'm the same on your end, one of your longest standing channel members. And guys, I keep on saying this. If you've been here every week, I know you've heard this a couple times already, but I want to continue to encourage people to maybe let's start doing something different when it comes to the kids, and someone take on that role of investing on behalf of the kids instead of just the gifts and the sneakers and the clothes and the video games and all of that. So let's do something for the future. Connect with their parents, 529 plan, UTMA account, whatever, may suit your family's needs. And so J3, thank you so much for tuning in today. So guys, if you weren't here at the beginning of the show, today I'm just throwing out different scenarios and what I would do, and you guys can chime in the chat and share your thoughts on what you would do. Okay, Trenton is sharing his investments, VTI, SCHD, VOO, and Microsoft on a daily basis. That's a lot of daily commitment right there. I love to see it. I have not been really contributing to my SCHD position or really many of my dividend investments, but let's continue with our different scenarios. I'm going to jot that down for end of show. Okay. So now let's see. Tax refunds. Splurge, save, or invest? Let me know your thoughts in the chat. And when it comes to tax refunds, my thing is, I don't even want us to be getting a tax refund. I'm not getting one, but when I was younger, I definitely did. And I did not have the knowledge to try and go to my HR department, figure out some adjustments as far as, my deductions and things like that. And so I would not aim to be receiving any tax refunds now that I feel like I know better, because there's no reason for it. Try to get things in line with your tax professional, with whoever you can reach out to. I cannot tell you how to go about it, but if you have things in a better balance, then you won't be having to give that government a free loan that you're then going to be getting back. Why not have things so that it's pretty much a clean wash and you're able to have that money allocated throughout your budget year long instead of receiving a refund? So, but if I was to be getting a refund or some unexpected amount of money, it's going to be a mix, a balance of some saving, some investing, and then maybe if there is something that's been on the wants that you can now incorporate without, putting yourself into debt or affecting anything else in your budget, and you are on track with those other things as far as savings and investing, then that would be the time to squeeze that in. Now, let's move on to emergencies that come up. I last week Monday when I went to take my daughter to school, I couldn't take her to school because my car wouldn't start. Okay, so this scenario is your car battery dies. It costs $180 to replace it. I don't even know how much a car battery costs, but this is what my list of scenarios is listing as the price. Do you put it on your credit card or do you dip into your sinking funds? So for me, it's basically going to be both. I'm going to use my credit card and then go to my sinking funds or, my emergency savings, my car savings, whatever bucket, and then take that money out in order to pay my credit card if I don't have enough in my checking account to handle that extra expense that popped up. So 180, I might have, to be able to do that without having to go to savings, but and it's $1,500, $1,000, four tires for the car, something more substantial. I usually have to then go to savings in order to pay my credit card bill and then replenish back the savings, because I try not to keep a lot of money in checking because I'm trying to get that interest building over in the savings accounts anyways. So what are your thoughts? Do you pretty much do the same as far as use your credit cards for everything and then pay them off? Okay, next scenario. Your kid breaks their glasses and you need to pay over $100 for a replacement. Do you pay now or wait until your next paycheck? When it's anything for me related to the car, medical, I'm going to deal with it immediately. That's something related to, pretty much related to safety, related to your health. I can't send my daughter out with no glasses. She can't see the board. She can't do her driving lesson. That would be a priority of we have to get these glasses repaired, replaced as soon as possible. So, and when it comes to my car too, I need my car running. I need to know that I am safe in order to, whether it's on the local streets or on the highway, I want to know that I am safe. And when I get to some place and I turn off my vehicle, when I come back out, it's going to turn back on. So when it comes to things like that, those are priorities that, there's no waiting. I'm going to have to get that resolved as quickly as possible. Hello, SBK and Rod and everyone else who has tuned in. Please share in the chat your thoughts on the different scenarios on what you would do. I'm sharing what I would do. So your car fails an inspection and you need $400 to fix it. So this falls into just what I was saying. Those are the type of things that I'm going to fix immediately. I don't want to deal with any legal issues, any safety issues when it comes to being out there with expired things. And I know it can be annoying. Like I said, I just ran into it last week when it comes to my car, but at the same time, I wanted to make sure to address my issue as quickly as possible. I don't want, it to be recurring that it's time to go and can't get the car warmed up, can't get to where I need to be on time. So my tow truck driver that came to get my car started for me had his 2 cents to give about what was going on with the car. But I went and talked to my regular mechanic about it, and we came up with a plan and did do some repairs. But, like I shared already, I did buy an older car to start with, and I have over 100,000 miles on my car now, probably about 115. So I have to be ready for maybe some different treatment and, dry gas and things that, making sure to warm up the car, making sure to run it every day. I might have to start to take some different steps in order to keep on track with feeling that I'm comfortable that it's going to make sure to be getting me to my destinations. Would putting on credit card, okay, wouldn't putting a credit card a better option? Getting a points from credit card company and pay it before interest? Yes, that is what I do. That is exactly what I do. I use my credit cards for everything, and then I, if needed, would be pulling the money from my savings. Yes, I am a credit card person for the cashback rewards, the points rewards. Usually I'm not doing anything fancy with my points. I just take them and get gift cards. And then that gives my budget a break while I have those gift cards. Then I don't have to pay for gas or pay for groceries or, some of those things for the month. And so then I have that money that was for that category freed up to do other things. Yeah, you forgot about those points. Hello, hello. Thank you guys for tuning in and chatting. All right, so next up, we're going to be talking about debt and credit cards. Hey, Jay, thank you for tuning in. So you have 3 credit cards. Pay off highest balances or highest APR. So a question that if you know me, you might know the answer to this one too. I am about paying the highest interest rate, that highest APR, as opposed to this question is not worded correctly. I did read it correctly, but I think the question is trying to say, do you pay off the lowest balance or the highest APR? I'm a person that pays off the highest APR because I want to save on interest. And so that I feel like I'm battling when it comes to my credit cards. And so, yes, Anthony always wants to spell it out for me, the avalanche method. That is what I gravitate to, as opposed to the snowball method of the smaller balance. But you have to do what makes you feel accomplished in whether it's your investing or savings goals. You have to do what makes you feel that you're really making an accomplishment. And for me, it's definitely the interest rate. So next up, you missed a credit card payment by accident. What do you do? Do you call the issuer? Do you pay the late fee? Do you just pretty much ignore it and just try to move forward? Okay, so I have pretty long-standing relationships when it comes to my bank accounts, my credit cards, my cell phone provider. I don't change those things very frequently. And I'm throwing that in here because when I pay a bill late, I'm going to face it. I'm going to call them up, but I'm also going to say, hey, can you not pay me the late charge? Can that be removed? And usually, because I have such a length of history and haven't missed a payment in such a long time, they're able to automatically tell me, yes, we can remove that this one time for you, no problem. But yeah, having that as an element of my ways of dealing with these things, that took time. But even if you are newer to using a certain company, give it a try. Obviously, call them and say, it was an accident, it was an oversight. just connect with them and don't just automatically, go about, just ignore it. Do what you can to keep the relationship, let them know it was a mistake. Ask the question. It doesn't, what the worst scenario is, they're going to say, no, we can't do that. So, but better to try and, give it a shot, before paying a late fee. If it truly was a one-time, isolated thing, I definitely ask. In most cases, they'll remove it. Yes, that's been my experience. Definitely, definitely. But, you can't, it just can't happen 5 times in the same year. So yeah, do your best to keep on track with your payments. But if you genuinely feel like this was, a mistake, I'm not going to let this happen again for, hopefully ever. But, it's been a long time since you've run into anything like that, then most likely they will work with you. So, you're offered a balance transfer card, 0% APY for 12 months. Do you take it? I would take it if I needed it. If I had high interest credit card debt somewhere else, and that would give me the opportunity of not having to battle interest for a period of time, I would do it. But if you're already in debt, you have to make sure that having that new card and that new balance available to you does not give you, that opportunity, or you don't dig yourself further into debt by transferring one balance in order to get that break from paying the interest, but at the same time going back to the other card and building that one up and putting yourself back in the same situation. So if you have to find a way to police yourself without closing the card, because we have to keep our established credit going, which I think is another question that's going to be coming up. But yeah, I think that's the next question. Let's see. Yes. Should you close old cards for a fresh start? And no, you cannot close your cards for a fresh start, because it's going to hurt your credit. You need that length of credit history. If you can use that credit card every once in a while, even one thing per month, in order to just keep it open, especially if it's helping you have that length of history, I make sure to do that. So yeah, you have to be able to, none of us can come over there and help you to stay on track with not running your cards back up. So you have to make a plan, especially with the interest. I would be every month, sometimes you figure out, okay, so if you have 12 months of interest free, you transfer the balance. I would, week after week, I would be dividing that balance out by the amount of weeks that I had left on that promotion, and trying to send that minimum amount. And then when I had extra money, sending that in, and then reevaluating how much I would have to pay on a regular basis in order to make sure to have it cleared up before that interest-free time frame runs out. Or what is the plan on where is it going to go next? So now let's go on to some investing scenarios. I hope you guys don't mind that there's some crediting and budget mixed in, as I know this is a channel where we love investing. But okay, let's see. You're nervous to invest on red days. Do you invest anyways? Yes, I invest every day. I invest all of the times. And, it's about the fundamentals. And so when I believe in a company's fundamentals, I'm in tune with what's going on in the news, and I have an understanding of potentially why my investment is red on the day. I don't let that bother me, because I'm thinking long term, and so it's an opportunity to get my investment at a lower price on that particular day. So you woke up and your investment is down by 40%. Do you sell or do you hold? The same thing. It's all about the fundamentals. There are going to be very rough periods when it comes to investing. And so you have to take your emotions out of it and just really evaluate and have a full understanding as to why your portfolio is moving that way. If your investments, if you have individual companies that you're investing into, and that's they're more of like a Tesla than an Apple in the price movement, and that's just not your, it doesn't give you, it doesn't keep you calm and make you feel like your portfolio is stable. Then maybe that'll give you the opportunity to reevaluate having those type of investments in your portfolio. But you incorporated them because of the fundamentals, and you have to just stick to your long-term vision and plan. And so, yes, there are going to be red days. There are going to be sometimes significant dips, hopefully not 40%. That would pretty much wipe out, an extensive amount of profit that I am in. But just using that as a scenario, it's all about focusing on the company for the long term and, evaluating. Hopefully you've evaluated before it dropped that far, but evaluating what companies you have, what type of investments you have in your portfolio that potentially could need a stop loss set on it, something that you're only willing to take a certain percentage drop. And then there are others. Almost everything in my portfolio are those type of investments that I'm holding and not that I do not have a stop loss set on, that I will be holding no matter what. And that's because I pretty much have my portfolio loaded with those type of companies, my basic ETFs, but then, Apple, Google, Tesla's in there too, NVDA, those type of companies. And so, the price movement on those, I'm not going to be cut out of my position over a little bit of volatility. So, but there are some smaller names, some companies in there that you probably would not be as familiar with if I name them off. And so those are the ones that I have my stop loss set on. And my stop loss, I think it lasts for 90 days at a time. And so I have to, from time to time, continue to put that on when it, expires. But luckily, even the companies that I have incorporated that had that status for me, that I've been able to keep on holding them for over a year, or a long length of time without being kicked out of them. So they're proving themselves that they are actually investments and not trade status. Thank you, Rod, for welcoming everyone and greeting everyone in the chat. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do one more question, and then I'm just gonna do a little, you guys can, shoot any questions that you have. The last question I'm gonna do is, you want to buy VOO, which is the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, but it's way too high. Let's see, let's pull up VOO. Okay, here is VOO. Currently $630.48. So, do you wait because the price is high? Excuse me. Sorry, guys, I need a second. Okay. Dollar cost averaging allows you to invest small amounts of money. So $630 is not going to stop me. If I have $10, if I have $5, if I have $100, I'm going to invest it. I'm not going to hold it until I have the entire $630. So no matter what the investment is, no matter what the price point is, there's no such thing as it's too expensive if it is something that is truly in line with your goals, your portfolio goals, it's going to be a part of my investment. So, and when it comes to the S&P 500, you can, I think I have it here already. Okay, let's see. There are other funds that, for example, SPYM also tracks the S&P 500, but it has a share price of $80.66 each. So tracks the same index, lower share price. So there are different ways that you can find something, whether it's dollar cost averaging or finding a different fund that tracks a similar index or a similar group of funds and has the same or similar expense ratio. I don't want you to pay a higher expense ratio for the this one actually has a lower expense ratio than VOO. So this one has 0.02% and VOO is 0.03. So by investing into SPYM, this used to be ticker symbol SPLG. They changed the ticker symbol recently if you're not familiar with this. If it doesn't sound familiar, you probably know it by the old ticker. So lower expense ratio, lower share price. If mentally it makes you happier to build up your shares quicker by having an $88 fund, per share as opposed to $600, when it comes to the S&P, that's an easy one that you can do. But I have VOO in my portfolio, and I did not go about it. When I started investing into it, it was probably 400 something, maybe about 425 per share. But yeah, I wasn't jumping in there and buying full shares. I was doing it little by little. And now I have 20 shares in my portfolio when it comes to VOO, which is not on the screen anymore. Okay, so that is it for our game time, question time. Oh, and I have right now popping up, Lisa, take a station break. So if you're new here, make sure to subscribe, like, hit that notification bell so that you can keep up with my videos, live streams. If you're interested in opening a new investment account, check out my referral links for MooMoo. It's in the description of all of my videos. And there are also referral links for joining channel membership, as well as KGU, Keenan Grace's University Discord. And so I am a crown trader over there. And you can use my referral link if you are interested in learning about other aspects when it comes to investing, like options trading. Okay. And again, I want to thank Vincent for that super chat earlier in the show today. And shout out to all of my channel members, especially Blessed Life Journey, who has been a member for the last 14 months. Okay, so now let's take a look at some of the questions that we were getting throughout the show. And guys, drop any questions that you might have in the chat, or any thoughts on any of the different topics that we went over today. So earlier today, Joe's one of those. Joe's close. Joe's in a. I think Joe might be might be number 3 or so when it comes to my longest channel members. Thank you for sharing your member milestone. Thrive and Glow with Joe. Okay, so let's just go to some questions. I jotted down too. The referral link, Money Lady, can do that. Referral link, money, can be another way to save towards a goal. Yes, it can, definitely. Okay. And let's see. So guys, I passed the 7,000 mark and we are on the road to next goal of 8,000 subscribers. And let's pull up XLK. News. Hmm. Someone earlier in the chat was saying that there was a stock split, and I wrote down the wrong ticker, but I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing that the fund that I wrote down had a stock split. What's your favorite food dish for the winter? Anthony, what's your favorite food dish for the winter? I think Anthony is just trying to be silly because when I was on his show, I told him one of the worst questions. He sent me the questions ahead of time, but I didn't read them. But the one question I didn't like that Anthony asked was, "What's my favorite dish to cook?" And I was like, "Cook." I would rather go to the restaurant. Winter, I don't even know. I don't know. Something I really don't cook much. I think I should be saying like a soup or a chili or something hearty like that, but I like what goes over well in my household, some nice rasta pasta or something like that. But what else did I put down? Okay. Well, guys, let me know if you have any questions. I jotted down two things. One was SCHD. I think Trenton was chatting about that, but he was saying that he's 62 years old. And so maybe he's in that place where he wants to shift more towards, building up that dividend income. Whereas right now I've been in a place where I felt like these dividend investments are just stagnant as compared to that dividends coming in. I'm getting a steady. The SCHD is quarterly. Realty income is monthly. Some SPHD. No, I can't even think of the ticker. I'm saying it incorrectly. I can't think of the ticker right now. But, I have a few that are monthly paying dividend investments, but the growth just has not been there in anything that I chose in that category other than my Main Street Capital. My Main Street Capital, yeah, I'm up, at least 40 to 50% all of the time. And so I'm getting that steady monthly dividend. They even do a bonus quarterly dividend. And also, I've had that growth when it comes to the share appreciation, but some of the other investments I have not. And so I'm going to not focus so much on those. And I'm going for, a stronger focus on the growth stocks for now. And then down the road, not sure exactly how many years before, that true retirement age, but I'll probably then shift back to some of these more conservative, steady dividend payers, because I feel that, for in the meantime right now, that I can gain more from the growth as opposed to a dividend payment that I'm not really using other than just to reinvest and build into shares. But I can be focused on building up positions that are more going to give more growth. So you said XLK. When did they have the stock split? Because I just searched for the news, and I'm not seeing it. I am not seeing it. Okay. Let me take a quick look to see what is that fund that for some reason my mind is going a blank. SPHD. So SPHD and SCHD is what I was getting a little mixed up there with. So even SPHD, it's a very conservative fund. I'm up about 16% on it. I get a monthly dividend, but yeah, not a position that I want to. Okay, So Anthony's doing better with finding the news here. Yes, XLK stock split 2-for-1 became effective on December 5th following an announcement from State Street. Okay. Thank you for looking that up for me. I don't know why I'm not seeing it. Yes, I do not have any tech-focused or semiconductor focused ETFs in my portfolio right now. But I've been thinking about if I was going to do anything, maybe going with VGT, something that is just pretty diverse, and seeing how that would fit into adding more growth to my portfolio, along with my investments that I already have directly into NVDA, Taiwan Semi, and my newest addition is AMD. Okay. So yes. So the fund, okay. No, that was not on my radar as far as that stock split, but it seems like it has you happy that the share price is more affordable now for your plans on building up your position. Okay. So Anthony, Teresa is sharing her choice for winter meal. Did you see that in the chat? Some cheesy potato soup and roasted potatoes and carrots. Yes, that sounds yummy. Let me go back. I think I missed some things from Chocolate Drop. Okay, and Joe. Let's see. Click on Joe. I opened up 5 UTMA accounts, 1 for each grandchild. I am trying to decide if I should invest them all in the same ETF maybe, or would you suggest I choose different? I don't know why. Maybe you should do. I don't know the age of the grandchildren. If they're all little, then they're not going to have anything to input. But if there is anything that they are interested in, maybe a small position into what they might like, so that you can, work with them in the future of sharing how that has grown. My daughter has a part-time job right now. I'm not going to tell you where my daughter works, but I looked up the stock and I was like, yeah, no, that won't be getting into your portfolio. But I don't see why you can't stick with the same fund for all of them. Or maybe a mix of 2 different funds for all of them. I'll send you a couple of suggestions, but maybe there can be some FXAIX in there, and then maybe something with a little bit more growth potential, but nothing risky, nothing too risky for the kids. But yeah, I do 2 funds and 3 individual companies is how I got my daughter's account set up. So, and 2 of her individual companies are Apple and Tesla. I think Tesla, usually when my Tesla stock, right now I would say my Tesla's up about 100%. My daughter's average on Tesla was even better than mine. So when I'm up 100, she's usually up like 115 or so. And her Apple stock and her other funds have done well also. But I can send you, or I can share in our chat a breakdown of what I do for her. Okay. But yeah, if you want to just stick to a basic funds while they're little, but I think that could be an opportunity. Oh, you gave me the ages. Okay. So 2 to 9. Yeah. So the bigger ones, they might be able to, if you want to incorporate teaching moments, maybe choose a small amount in order to go into something that they like, that you also hopefully can be on board with. This is something that's going to be around, and this is something that has some amount of strong fundamentals for the future. Hey, Nora, thank you for tuning in. Guys, I heard Nora say on her live, Nora's been doing a lot of variety, but she says she's going to be bringing it back to what her name says here, what her channel name is, The Stock Explorer. So we have to be on the lookout for stock market content from Nora, guys. All right, so I don't see any other questions. Okay, Lisa, looking at Robinhood, I received XLK split on December 5th. Yeah, I don't have XL. I don't know. That XLK split was just not on my radar, but I might do a video or touch on it in an upcoming video now that you guys bring it to my attention. And I jotted it down in my notebook. But guys, make sure you have your notification bell on for, all of my videos, shorts, in case I do a pop-up live or anything like that. And members, please feel free to leave me any, requests for our own private live streams on certain topics that you want to cover. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in today. So let's see. All right. Lisa, we look forward to the pop-up lives. Yes. Anthony, why don't you pop up on the weekends and we do some Finance Friday or something like that? Okay. Do you think Netflix will rocket Monday morning calls? I do not know. The amount that I'm going to click on Nora's comment here. I don't know what's going on with Netflix. Netflix, they really have shaken things up with their stock split. They're 10 for 1, and then so soon after this multi-billion-dollar purchase that they are just getting into. So I think that I was saying to someone this morning that, because of that, we're not going to be able to really, this is like I feel like it's going to create a special circumstance, like that we're not going to be able to kind of look back on history of other stock splits because of the stock split being so close to this news breaking about they're buying Warner Brothers for $72 billion. And I from what I've read and seen in the news, some, the valuation of the amount that they spent kind of has shareholders worried. You see this headline here from the Wall Street Journal saying why Netflix shareholders aren't thrilled to acquire Warner Brothers. So yeah, a big spend and just a lot going on so close together. So I don't know. So back to Nora's question, I don't know what's going to be going on with them. I did not plan on, hopefully it doesn't tank. Yeah, I did not plan on trading. I mean, I'll trade any day of the week. I'm not specific to the day of the week for trading. But I didn't plan on trading them. That was easy expensive. What did I miss? Oh, the amount that they paid? Yeah. I think there is some, talks that they overpaid. Could go either way, but I bet it runs a little then corrects. Okay. So I had bought, I had sold some of my Disney shares, and I put it over into more NVDA, as well as one share of Netflix. This is right before, maybe about a week or two at the most before they announced the split. So now my 1 share has now turned into 10 shares. So I do have Netflix in my portfolio, and I think I'm slightly in the red right now, but it's only been, I've only had it for maybe about 5 weeks or so. Not long. So we will see. We will see. That's one that I need to give some time to let it cook, and one that I wish I had. I think I bought that 1 share of Netflix when I let go of some of the Disney, because so many times when I looked at my Disney shares, I thought to myself, why did I buy Disney instead of Netflix? And so when I had that money freed up, I said, let me buy one Netflix. Okay. Shout out to KGU always. So you said you bought a few shares of Netflix after the split. Okay. So if you bought after the split, you might be doing better than me as far as how my position is looking so far. But I will share that also, in case you're interested in how that's looking. And I will, or if you want to chat about, what your plans are. But you can definitely, I don't want the money to be sitting, but you can definitely get the money transferred into the kids' 5 accounts, and be ready to invest. I know with my daughter, her new job, that's the account that she chose. She chose her Fidelity account as opposed to her regular bank account for her direct deposit. And so that's helpful because we already have that built-in higher APY while any cash is sitting. So Disney really has stalled out. Definitely. Target, even worse. Target, some people, that Target stock has just been, it just seems like year after year for the last, since 2022, just more problems after problems. So IONQ, yes, those quantum stocks. That's where Anthony is building his millions from. Love them, but dang, it doesn't move. Yeah, it doesn't. And that's why one of the rare occasions that, you can't hold on anymore. Hello, Digital Collective. I don't know if who's watching. Is it you, D? Thank you guys for tuning in. That's a great idea. I don't know what I said. Okay. So it's after 4:00. I'm going to wrap it up for today. I still have some work to do, and I have to take my daughter driving. I told her, by the time we go driving tonight, it's going to be dark outside. It's probably getting dark already. I have the curtains closed here, but it gets dark. It gets dark so early. So guys, do you what song do y'all want to end with today? I noticed that people usually listen to the song at the end. Do y'all want to hear Stock It Up, or do y'all want to hear, where are my songs? Do y'all want to hear Lisa J Stocks or Stock It Up? Let's see if anybody votes. And I hope you guys have a great week. And I already took my son driving. You took your son driving? Okay, you're not going to get caught in the dark like me. But, as a new driver, I got to teach her to drive in the rain and the dark and all the elements. So, okay. You want to hear Stock It Up? Thank you for the vote, Joe. All right. So, guys, I will see you soon. As I said, whether you're a gifted channel member or, a well-established channel member like Joe and Blessed Life have shared today, feel free to ask me questions, and I will try to get back to you. So we are going to end with Stock It Up, and I will see you guys soon. Stock it up, stock it up.